Okay, so chapter 2, summary of Gita. This is chapter 2 is also known as summary of Gita, Gita Saramsh, or it is also known as Sankhya Yoga. So how does chapter 2 open? Let's see, the curtain opens. Now Arjuna is looking very helpless. He has put his Gandiva bow down and he says, Krishna, I cannot fight. You have to get, and then Lord Krishna will commence his advice from chapter 2 onwards, right? Where chapter 1, he was very quiet. He was listening to what Arjuna had to say. So chapter 2, he is going to drive home the point that each one of us, we have to perform our respective karma, right? And action. Then only we'll get ultimate liberation or salvation. And whoever will not do his action or his swadharma, which is called swadharma also, he will have to pay a heavy, heavy fine or penalty. What is that penalty? The punishment is you have to come back to this earth again. You have to take birth again. You have to die again. You have to come back again. So you'll never be free from this bondage. So that is the punishment we have to go. We'll remain in the shackles of birth and death. So chapter 2, what does it talk about? Three very important points. One is the soul, individual soul, Jivatma. Number 2, Jivatma, its nature, how it exists and all that. Then number 2, it will be all about our karma activities. And number 3, Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna means what? A person who is having total balanced mind. He is, completely cool, calm, balanced, whatever come, what may. So that is what we are going to look into. So let's see the Krishna's solution to Arjuna's objection. Arjuna had objections, right? What objection did he have? He said, I'm feeling very compassionate towards them. Krishna said, we are not the body, so you nothing to feel about. He said, but there will be no enjoyment, Krishna. He says, see, if you are going to win, you will get the kingdom. If you're going to die in the battle, you'll go to heaven, because anyone who is doing their duty properly, any soldier who is martyred goes to heaven. So he says, no, but it is a sin. He says, no, if it's a devotional activity, it's not a sin. Then he says, what about the family tradition? It will be destroyed. He said, you have to be a role model to prevent Varna Shankara, means the Kulakshaya, that is family traditions. Then he says, I'm not able to decide, Krishna. For that, Lord says, serve the Lord with firm determination. So the problem was between whether to do Kula Dharma or Kshatriya Dharma, what to do. So if you let go and let only the God do, then it's okay. But if I don't let go, what will happen? I'll be frustrated. If I say I'm the controller, I'll always remain frustrated. If I let go and, then what will happen? And I will let go and let God come in. God, I surrender to you. Do whatever you think is, if you so desire, let it happen. You know better what is good for me and not. Then I will be reassured. So that is what we need to learn from here. That is a takeaway. Anyway, now again the question, what is the name of Krishna's conch shell? Panchajanya. Yes, very nice. Okay, what are the 5 reasons which Arjuna gave for not fighting?
Compassion.
Compassion, no enjoyment, sinful activity, destruction of family,
Vision,
no enjoyment.
Yes, correct. Compassion, no enjoyment, sin, family traditions, and he was not able to decide. What is the name of chapter 2? Sankhya Yoga. Yes. Good. Okay. So let's start. And those who want to read, you may raise your hand. And Aishwarya Mataji, you please take their names so that they can read. Okay?
Yes, Mataji.
Sanjaya Uvacha Tam Tatha Kripaya Vishtam Ashrupurna Kulekshanam Vishidantam Midam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudanaha.
Shreya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words.
So the Arjuna was completely in grief, right? So what happens, in first loka, Arjuna is seeing Dronacharya, Bhishma, his grandfather, he is seeing right in front of him. He feels very sad. He is completely in misery. And he says, Krishna, it's better I go to the forest, I beg, and I will live over there than kill my elders and my guru. So on hearing all this, somebody is feeling very happy, as you can see in the picture. Who is that very happiest? The happiest person is Dhritarashtra. Why? Because he thinks, okay, good. Arjuna doesn't want to fight. Very good. He's going back into the forest, so he won't fight, and the kingdom will still be under my control. But then what happens? All his illusion is going to break. Brahm tootta hai, like that. Why? When does his illusion break? Sanjaya said, Arjuna, who is on the chariot, is full of compassion, Dhritarashtra, and he's having lot of, his eyes are filled with tears, and he's saying he's very, very emotional right now. And he's saying, please tell Krishna, Madhusudana, he's addressing Madhusudana. Why Madhusudana? Because Madhusudana is another name of Krishna. Why? Because Krishna had once killed a demon called Madhu. Correct. So now as soon as he says, Vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha Madhusudana, as soon as he says uvacha Madhusudana, tell me Krishna, immediately Dhritarashtra comes into tension. What is Krishna going to do? Krishna is always there. He is definitely going to do something. Is he going to bring the situation under control, or what is going to happen? Now, whatever illusion I had, that whatever dream I had, okay, the kingdom will still be under me, is all going to go away. So his illusion is broken as soon as he says, Uvacha Madhusudana. So let's see. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutasva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupasthitam Anarya Jushtamaswargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna.
Atmaji Mataji, please read.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So when does Lord Krishna start? He starts to give instructions to Arjuna, right? Only and only after Arjuna surrenders to Krishna as a disciple, right? Arjuna is very intelligent. He could understand that, whatever affection he's having for his family members, and he wants to protect them from death. These were the causes. These were the causes of his misery, right? That is what was giving him a lot of anxiety in his mind. So that is why he asked Lord Krishna, because he knows he's the supreme spiritual master. Please make, come with a definite solution, Krishna, he says. So, and he surrenders, he offers himself as Krishna's disciple. So what happens over here? Now Arjuna and Krishna, who were best of friends, now the relationship is changing over here from second shloka onwards. So their friendly dialogues and everything will stop now. The talk between the master and the disciple, that is going to be very serious. And now Arjuna wants to talk very seriously before his spiritual master. So Krishna says, okay, I understand, Arjuna, but you know what? You'll get a very bad name, Arjuna. It's not good for you, because what will people say? You are running away from the battlefield being a Kshatriya. Like, for example, if you are a very good student, or you are very good team player or something, and suddenly you have to go on the stage, and at just the right moment you say, no, teacher, I can't go onto the stage. I can't recite. Then because you become very nervous, what will the teacher say? Come on, you can do it. Don't back out now. What will other team members say? Our team members will lose face. Don't do that. Come on, go ahead, right? So that happens, when we are too much attached to something. Even attachment to fear also will lead to that. Attachment to one's relatives will make us do that. What will happen? We lose the ability. What ability? To discriminate between right and wrong. What is the right action and the wrong action? So that's what happens. Let's see further. Yes, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Yes, please.
Charu Mataji, please.
Now I'm confused.
Harshita Mataji.
Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha Pritchami tvam dharma sammudha Yachayasyan nishtitam bruhitan me Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Very, very important shloka of Bhagavad Gita 2.7. Remember this. You can learn this. Why? Because this is the turning point in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna's Upadesha or his sermon starts from here to Arjuna. So he says, Karpanya dosho pahatasvama. Arjuna, you are forgetting your Kshatriya duty. What are you doing? So that is why Arjuna says, like, he's admitting, yes, Karpanya dosho pahatasvabhava. I'm forgetting my natural duty. My natural duty is to fight, but I'm forgetting that I'm becoming like a miser, right? In Srila Prabhupada, in one of his lectures, I remember he's telling us that to become a disciple means what? There is no more argument, right? When we are having a friendly talk between each other, that's fine. We can argue, we can counter argue, we can do anything. But the moment we become guru and disciple, then there is stop. There is no more argument whatsoever. So now Arjuna is admitting. He says, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. Means what? Actually, Krishna, my behavior should be like a Kshatriya. And I should fight for the just cause. I should be fighting for my people. I should be fighting for my kingdom. But in this case, I'm denying that. I'm not doing it. So that is why I'm Kripana. Kripana means what? One who does not properly use his position. For example, somebody who's very wealthy, but he's not using his money. He's simply looking at the money. You have earned so much money, you're sitting and just staring at your money. What is happening? He's called Kripana, not using it only. So Arjuna is very powerful. He can fight. He's a Kshatriya, but he is denying that, thinking that, I cannot do it. I can't. He has got so much strength, but he is not doing it. Like rich man has got a lot of money, but he is not ready to spend. So they are called Kripana. So Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. So like, for example, if you are in a school and you have a doubt in a subject, who would you approach if you have a doubt in your subject? What do you do?
Go to the subject teacher.
Yeah, exactly. You go to the subject teacher. Then, so here, what is Arjuna's duty? If he is in a doubt, what should he do? He should go to somebody who is superior to him. Who better than Krishna, right? Like when you are sick, you go to a doctor and you ask him, what do I do, doctor? I'm having this and this so-and-so problems. I'm having these symptoms. That's your duty. If you don't tell him, how will doctor give you the medicine, right? We can't do our own treatment by ourselves. Similarly, whenever we are in this life, the life lesson that we get is whenever we are having problems in our life, we are having confusion as to what is our correct duty, or we are forgetting our duties. It is very, very important, and it will be very nice if we can go to a superior person and ask him what to do, right? And who can be a better superior person here in this case than Krishna? So that is why Arjuna said, Prichamitvam. Prichamitvam means tell me, I am asking you. So because it is my duty, I am now falling in my duty. I'm not able to do, I'm not that good here now. I have to ask you, please tell me what is my duty. So here in this shloka, it shows Arjuna has surrendered. He knows he's feeling very weak about it. He's taking the shelter of Bhagavan, and there is a change in relationship. And now Krishna is going to transfer all the knowledge to Arjuna. So you can see that. How does Arjuna find a solution to his confusion, whether to fight or not to fight? What does he do? How does he find the solution?
By surrendering
into Lord Krishna.
Excellent, excellent. Very good, very good. Yeah, when it comes to mode of surrender, we can't help it but tell the story of Gajendra, the elephant, as you can see on the screen. So he is the central character of the story, and the elephant was once King Indradyumna in his previous life. You can see that in Bhagavatam also the story comes. So he left his kingdom and he went to do some meditation. In those days, they were all Raja Rishis. So he went into the forest to meditate on Lord Vishnu. One day a saint came to the hut of Indradyumna Maharaj. King did not see because he was deep into meditation, and that angered the sage. He was not very happy with mere ko swagat nahi kiya. So he thought he was purposefully insulting the sage. So he cursed him to become an elephant. Now King Indradyumna became an elephant. He was roaming around in the forest. Soon he came across a herd of elephant. many elephants. So the king of that herd of elephants, HERD, herd of elephants. So he challenged King Indradumna, the elephant. And then they both fought, and King Indradumna, the elephant, defeated the other king. And then he was named, King Indradumna was named Gajendra. Yeah, Gajendra. So what happens the moment you become an animal? The animal instincts come into you, right? So he became very arrogant and egoistic, and he controlled all the the animals in the forest. Once he went to drink water in the river, and as you can see in the picture, a crocodile caught Gajendra's leg and refused to leave it. So other elephants tried, but slowly when they saw that nothing was happening, they deserted him. Now there was no other way, no other way, no other way. He tried everything, but he was not able to free himself from the clutches of the crocodile. Then what did he do? He realized that only Lord Vishnu can save him. He surrendered. The moment he prayed to Lord Hari Vishnu, surrender mode, soon Lord Vishnu appeared on Garud Vahan, and and immediately Gajendra, even though he was in such a painful state, he plucked a lotus from the river and he offered to Lord Vishnu, and he said, Narayana, Narayana, Bhagavan, I bow to you. He was instantly released from the grip of the crocodile. So that is actually, it comes under Gajendra Moksha Stotram also, there where Lord Vishnu comes down to earth to protect Gajendra from the clutches of the crocodile. This crocodile was also Makara, this Huhu, its name was Huhu, and it was also a Gandharva. And with Vishnu's help, Lord Vishnu's help, Gajendra attained moksha. And, he got liberated from this cycle of birth and death. Even in Gajendra Stotram, it is there, right? Gajendra Moksha Stotram. Gajendra Uvacha, Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yat Etat Chidatmakam Purushayadi Bijaya Pareshaya Vidhimahi. Right? Something like that is there as a shloka, very nice shlokas on Gajendra prayers by Gajendra. He says, I offer my obeisance to you, Supreme Person, O Lord Vishnu, Vasudeva, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, he says. And he says you are worshipable by even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, everybody worships you. You enter into the heart of every living entity. He meditates upon, and then you can see that. And when we see this, it shows as if, we have, it shows some symbolism also. Like they say that the egoistic soul is like the elephant. As long as we are young, healthy, wealthy, many people, love us, and we become very egoistic. And then crocodile represents death. So which ends everything. When we are caught in the jaws of death, there is no one who can save us, right? Everybody flees away. Nobody is there who will come with us once we die. Nobody is going to hold our hand. Everybody disappears. Our own body doesn't go with us. Forget about others. So like the elephant in the story, the only solution from all this suffering is just to turn towards the Lord. He is our only friend, right? So Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, he is in our best friend. So in the moment of utter surrender, so God will come to our help, and he will destroy the death, and he will release our soul from these clutches of birth and death. That is the grace of the Lord. The second picture is Brahma Vimohana Leela. How Lord Brahma also surrenders in the end, and how Lord Krishna smashes his ego. Brahma got in ego once, and what happens once Lord Brahma, he steals the calves and the cowherd boys, because he says, how Krishna is like this, I must test him. So he decided to test Krishna. So Krishna was just laughing. He understood that Lord Brahma has done that. I'm just telling this story in short because we'll lack of time. So, he knew what was happening. Calves were eating the grass, and they were going further and further from the boys, the cowherd boys. The boys said, oh, calves have gone. Krishna said, don't worry, you all sit over here. I'll get the calves. Okay, you enjoy your lunch prasadam. And he went to search the cows. He could not find anybody. So he returned back to the place to his friends to tell, I can't find the calves. He saw the cowherd boys were also gone. Lord Brahma had stolen them, right? So he was looking, nobody was around. So he just stood for a while. He was thinking what had happened. He understood. Okay, Lord Brahma has done this. Fine. So what did he do? He expanded himself into exact replica form of each and every cowherd boy, every calf, so exactly that he had the same, the bodily complexions, the features, everything. They spoke in the same manner, the way they were acting, everything was same, clothes. So he created everything. Ultimately, it's Krishna's Leela. And now Lord Brahma had taken away the boys and the calves, and he hid them in the cave, and he put them in a mystic sleep form. Then Brahma was thinking, I should go back to see now. What is Lord Krishna doing? Because I need to understand. I have stolen his friends and calves, so I must go and see what is happening. So he came back in one moment, but according to the life of Brahma, one moment which happens to be like 1/12 of a second or something like that is equal to 1 year of our time. So something like that. When he returned after 1 year of our material time, he saw that everything was still normal. All are playing and calves are grazing and everything is happening. How can that be possible? He thought, oh, maybe they escaped from my cave. Let me go back and check. He went back to check. No, they were still lying down there. He went back here. He saw them all playing around, and they were in the pasture, the calves and all. So wherever he went, he said, same thing. What is happening? He said, what is some illusion is going on? Krishna is playing some trick with me. What is going on? So he did not understand. Then how was this all this happening? He was completely bewildered and confused. That is what is going to happen, right? In front of God, we are nothing. So the moment Lord Brahma saw that, it is Lord Krishna who had transformed into each and every gopa and calves, he could see the Narayan form in everyone. Immediately he went and he bowed down, as you can see in the picture. He asked for a lot of forgiveness, right? So Krishna wanted to teach all the world, whoever you are, however great you might be, but before God, you are insignificant. We are not in a position to test Krishna here. We should surrender to Krishna. That surrender mode has to be done, and that is what Lord Brahma did in the end. And similarly, you can see Prahlad Maharaj. He was the son of Hiranyakashipu and Kayadu, right? He tolerated so much of abuse from torture from his father, Hiranyakashipu. And he was eventually saved by Lord Narsimhadev. And Prahlad Maharaj completely surrendered to Lord Vishnu. So that was the result. And as you can see that, and Hanuman, what did Hanuman? He is a divine companion of Lord Rama. And Hanuman is, without him, he was a central character in Ramayana, right? We all know how much Hanumanji surrendered, what kind of surrender bhava he had. He had dedicated his life and soul to Lord Rama. So these are all the examples of surrender mode. So that is what Arjuna did. He surrendered to Lord Krishna now. So let's see. How does Lord Krishna show us how to become a good teacher? Yes, please.
Shakya Narayana Mataji, please state.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
O descendant of Bharata, at that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of the armies, spoke the following words of grief-stricken Arjuna. Krishna's quality as great teacher does not scold, but only smiles.
So nice, right? Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha prahasanneva Bharata senayor ubhayor madhye vishidantam idam vachaha. Now here what happens is he tells Gudakesha means here, it means Gudaka means sleep. And one who conquers the sleep is called Gudakesha. So he was addressing Arjuna, right? Arjuna conquered both. He conquered sleep also, he conquered ignorance also. And why? How? Because he always used to follow his guru's orders and his elders' orders. He was completely properly following the guidelines of dharma. We may conquer sleep, but it's difficult to conquer ignorance, tamoguna, right? It's always there. So now that the talk was between Gudakesha and Rishikesha. Gudakesha is a person who conquers sleep and ignorance. He was Arjuna. And Rishikesha, Krishna, he's the master of all the senses. He's mastered, he's above all the transcendental modes, right? So he's transcended all the modes. He's above all of that. So he is master of senses and he's speaking to Arjuna, who is conquered sleep and ignorance. So friends, they were same level, but now Krishna smiled very nicely. He said, okay, now he was in the middle of both the armies. He looked at Arjuna. He said, okay, Arjuna, okay, fine. I'm going to tell you what has to be done now. Buddha Kesha, what does it mean?
Control over sleep
To
and
lower sleep and
ignorance.
ignorance.
Yes, very nice. What does Rishikesha refer to?
Senses, master
Master
of
of
senses.
the
Master of
senses.
Yes, very nice. Yes, please.
Sunanya Mataji, please read.
The blessed Lord said, while speaking learned words, you are murmuring for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for living nor the dead. Krishna's quality as a great teacher. The bend don't break.
Yeah, so
Hare Krishna.
teacher's quality is very nice, right? They just smile, not scolding, is not saying much. So Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely in his purport, like here, he says, Lord, he took the position of a teacher now. So that the moment he became a teacher, he chastised the student. He said, what are you doing, Arjuna? Do you know what you're talking? You are talking like a learned man, but do you know what are you lamenting for? You don't even know, right? You do not know that the one who is knowledgeable, who is learned, he should know the difference between what is a body, what is a soul. You are not supposed to lament for any stage of the body, neither in this living condition nor in the dead condition. You're not supposed to lament for that. It's just a body. Soul is, or it cannot be killed. So what was he lamenting for? Oh, I will be killing their body. He can kill the body, but he cannot kill the soul. So, right? Because the body is born, it will be, definitely it will die. If I am born, I have to die. There is no doubt about it. I know my manufacturing date, but I don't know my expiry date. So body is born. It is destined to be vanquished today, tomorrow, day after, whenever, right? So body is not as important as soul. So one who understands this, who's actually learned, for him, there is no cause to lament or to cry, regardless of whatever the condition is of the material body, is what Lord Krishna is telling. So Lord Krishna, we can see why he's called the best teacher, because he listened. Whole chapter 1, he was silent. He was just listening when disciple was talking. He gives knowledge of the Gita only when Arjuna is ready to surrender. For us, nobody has to ask us opinion. We will start ourselves, but I think that is not right. You have to do this way, that way. They have not even asked us. We still open our mouth and start. No, that's not a good quality. Lord Krishna is telling us what to do. When somebody is talking, just be silent, listen completely, have patience. Number 2, only say when other person wants us to tell something. That's it. Otherwise, no. Smiles, no anger at Arjuna. So that is another quality. Bend, but not break. You can bend, you can tell, but don't break from your principles. Leave it like that. Just try to explain in another way, so that the other person understands. And he answers all the questions in short, very, very quickly. He tells Arjuna what to do. Keeps encouraging Arjuna. He gives Arjuna choice. He gives all his suggestions, but in the end, he doesn't say, okay, I have ordered you like this, you must do it. No, he says, I have told you whatever is good for you. Now, do as you like. There is no force. Yathechasi tatha kuru, he says in 18th chapter. Let's see. Whenever Lord Krishna speaks, Bhagavadgita says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Why not Krishna Uvacha? So we'll see why it is not Krishna Uvacha, but only Bhagavan Uvacha. Because who is Bhagavan? Aishwarasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashisa Shriyaha Jnana Vairagya Yoshcheva Shanam Bhaga Itirena. Means it is taken from Vishnu Puran 6.5.47. So it is like Bhagavan. So Parashar Muni, who was the father of Vyasa Muni, Vyasadeva, he compiled all the Vedic literature that time. He gave this definition of God as Bhagavan. Who is he? Who is having absolute wealth. Means Lord Krishna has, whole Srishti is Lord Krishna's, whereas we have very limited property, we have limited area. The whole Srishti, whole universe is Lord Krishna's, right? In chapter 7, he says, matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. He says there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, Arjuna. He tells him in chapter 7. So we can see that. And when it comes to strength, now what strength? He kidnapped Rukmani Devi. He just went over there with completely fearlessly. He just took her away. That's it. Yashas, fame. He is so famous that there is nobody. Beauty, oh my God, he's so charming, very beautiful. In Brahma Samhita, we can always see that. Venum Konantam Arvinda Dayalataksham. He's so adept. He's playing his flute. His eyes are like petals, lotus petals. Barahavatam Samatisam Tam Buddha Sundarangam. His head is decked with peacock feathers, very nicely tinged with his body is tinged with hue of blue color clouds. Kandar Pakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. He's so charming that millions of cupids also are waste. You know, he's so beautiful, so charming, right? Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. I worship that, Govinda says Lord Brahma. Then when it comes to knowledge, he is telling us Bhagavad Gita. Who can be more knowledgeable than that, right? So, you know, he said that Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matstani sarva bhutani na chaham teshva vastitaha. What does he say? In my unmanifested form, this entire, in this entire universe is pervaded by me. All of them are in me, but I am not in any of them, right? It's like, you know, how our Prime Minister, he's running the whole country, he's taking care of everything, but he cannot be with each one of us, but he is there. He is the one who's taking care of everything, right? So that is what he is. He's so knowledgeable. And renunciation, no need to ask. Only in you know, he became the charioteer of Arjuna. How humble he is, right? He tells Arjuna in 18th chapter also, right? You decide what you feel is right. Who will do that? Complete renunciation. Srila Prabhupada states that Krishna's acceptance as the post of charioteer, that exhibits Krishna's opulence of renunciation. He was full of 6 opulences at the same time. He showed highest renunciation. He took a subordinate position, you can imagine, right? He can do that for his devotees. He will do anything. Sometimes he detached himself from his associates in Vrindavan. He gives us freedom to what we can and we should not do, right? Otherwise, you know, we have got that little independence Lord Krishna has given. And anyway, so whoever has these Shadagunas, 6 gunas, he's called Bhagavan, right? If you look into Shastras, Vedas, Lord Krishna has been called Bhagavan. So we need to understand that. Like, you know how we say Dharyavan, Vidvan, Malyavan, Vicharvan, Vidvan, Satyavan, like that, who has got all the 6 opulences, Bhagavan. Hare Krishna. So we have all the 6 opulences of Lord. What is all that? Beauty, wealth, fame, strength, knowledge, and sacrifice. So now when we are seeing this, our vision is not perfect. So how can we see Bhagavan with these eyes? With these eyes, if I want to see Bhagavan, how to see, right? It won't happen. So like, let's see. So who is Krishna? For example, if you are going on say on a drive towards a hill or something. So what can you, we are on a drive. So as we are driving by, what can you see now? Anybody who can tell me what you can see in the picture?
Clouds.
Yeah.
Nature.
Yeah.
There is fog all around.
Yes, everything. All of you are right. So you can see clouds, land, sky, everything. Yes, everything. But let's go a little closer. We are driving and we are going. We have gone little closer. What did you see now? Tree. What did you see that from far? No. Now we have driven little closer. So we are able to see the tree. Now we are going to go very close to the tree. What will you see there?
Bird.
A bird. What is a bird doing?
Eating.
Eating fruit. Yes. So this example is shown because we want to show you that God, from very far, if you see God, you will see just the light. That's the effulgence of the light. When you see from far, you want to see God from far, it will be just like a light. Now you want to go a little closer, you will see four-handed form, Paramatma. Now if you go much, much closer, then you will see Krishna, right? Like I keep giving this example, like you have two friends, they are very new to you, okay? So you just know their names only. And then you don't know where they live, what their parents do, what they like, what they dislike. You don't know anything, right? Now, slowly you become more friends, and closer you become friends, then you come to understand, you know more. So same way, then you understand who are their parents, what do they do, everything you know about your friends. Similarly, the closer we go to God, by japa, by chanting, by doing all 9 kinds of devotional services, the more details we'll come to know about God. So first light is called Brahman. So we'll see that. And then Chaturbhuja Paramatma Rupa, and then Shyama Sundar Rupa with peacock feather and all that, right? So it is Lord Krishna. Where is Krishna? Krishna is always in our heart. He is there. And what does he love? He loves? He's called Dash Chor. What Chor?
Makhan Chor.
Makhan Chor. He used to steal a lot of butter from Gopi's house and all that, right? And he used to break all the pots. Whenever he would eat makhan, he would break the pot. Why does he have to break the pot? But he would break the pot just for fun. He would do that. Very mischievous. Yeah. So Yashoda Mata, she said, okay, Gopis came and complained, Ma, Yashoda Maya, he is eating all our makhan and even breaking our pots. What do we do? So Yashoda Maya says, you do what? Just switch off the light. He will not come in. They did that. No, but nothing happened. He still stole and he still broke. So they again went, she said, oh, maybe because he's wearing a lot of jewelry, this time I'll remove all the jewelry. Jewelry was shining, so he could see where the pots are, so he broke. This time I'll remove the jewelry. Don't worry, go back. So she removes the jewelry, and next day again the gopis come back. They say, no, nothing happened. You took the jewelry out, but he still stole. He still broke the pots. What do we do? So this time Yashodami said, really? Let me go and see. She goes next time to see. And lo and behold, she sees so much of effulgence. As soon as Lord Krishna had gone inside, they completely saw a lot of bright light coming out of from his body. So from this, what do we understand? That Krishna's effulgence is Brahman form, the first form. And then secondly, he is residing in all our hearts as four-handed Paramatma form. And then he is, of course, Bhagavan himself. So again, one more time to repeat that, 3 steps of finding the Supreme. Brahman form can be related to the sun rays. Srila Prabhupada explains in one of his lectures that this can be explained by the example of the sun. The sunshine, the first one, Brahman, can be like God's effulgence, God's light can be explained, and it can be explained by the example of sunshine. And Paramatma form, who is residing in our heart, can be explained as sun surface. And then Bhagavan can be sun planet. That's how analogy can be given by, that is given by Srila Prabhupada. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati.
Premakumari Mataji, please read.
As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered
By such a change.
but such a change.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So see, every living entity is an individual soul, right? We are passing our body from every moment. What is happening? He is manifesting as a child, then becomes a youth, then old man, like that, But spirit soul, is it also changing? No, it's still there, right? It is not going any change. It is not undergoing any change. The body is growing, but the spirit soul is there. Individual soul, what happens? When does it leave the body? Finally changes the body at death, and then transmigrates into another body. And it is definitely sure to have another body in the next birth, right? We can have a material body, spiritual body, doesn't matter. So that is why Lord Krishna says there is no cause for Arjuna to lament upon it. Just because Bhishma or Drona will die, oh, what will happen? No, it's only the body that will die. In fact, he should be very happy because their bodies have become very, very old. So it's good, right? They will change their bodies from old body to new body. They will get a lot of new energy, rejuvenating energy. Anyway, Bhishma and Dronacharya there were noble souls. They will definitely would have got spiritual bodies in their next life. They may not be even coming onto the material world again. You never know, right? So there was nothing to be sad about. He was saying compassion, right? So now what was Lord Krishna's reply for the first one? Arjuna, he says, Arjuna, he is giving knowledge to Arjuna by saying that we are souls, we are not body. So no need to feel compassionate about it. According to Lord Krishna, Arjuna is mourning for what is not worthy of grief. What is that unworthy object? What is something that is nothing to be mourning about?
Body.
Body, yes,
Body.
correct,
Body.
correct. Very nice.
Body,
What
we are
happens to the
soul.
soul as body changes throughout our life? What happens to the soul?
Soul does not change.
Soul does not change.
Change.
Yes, excellent.
Okay.
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः न शोषयति मारुतः.
Madhav Prabhuji, please.
The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can be burned by any fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All kinds of weapons, there are so many kinds of weapons. Nothing can kill the spirit soul, says Lord Krishna. He says, there are so many kinds of weapons. It was made up of earth, water, air. So many weapons are made, right? Even modern weapons, you can see nuclear weapons and all are there. But nothing can kill the soul. It can never be cut into pieces. It cannot be annihilated by any kind of weapon, any scientific devices. Srila Prabhupada also explained to us that he said the distinction of the soul being the spirit. What does he say? He says you can take anything in this material world. It can be burnt. Anything in this material world, it can be burnt. It's just a question of temperature only. Lord Srila Prabhupada says. Even iron can be being burnt, any metal, any hard thing, stone, everything can be burnt. But here it is said the soul cannot be burnt. What does it mean? It means it's stronger than iron, it's stronger than stone, but it is very fragmental, minute atomic portion. What is the size of the soul? 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. This is the tip of the hair, and 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair is the soul, and it says soul cannot be burned. You can imagine what Srila Prabhupada is explaining so nicely. It cannot be burned. So the takeaway from here is we can't escape our miseries by just exploiting or destroying our bodies. People just go and do some suicide. They want to destroy their body. They think that they will be free from this life. No, nothing is going to happen. We cannot escape our miseries. We'll come back and again face and more, because we are trying to be control of our own body and kill it. That's not right. Nothing is going, we cannot escape our miseries just because we have just gotten rid of the body. No, we have to come back again, face the same thing. So soul cannot be killed. What is the size of the soul?
1,000 part.
1/10,000.
10,000
Yeah,
part.
1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. In chapter 2, the Lord explains
That we are the soul, not the body.
Yes, very good. Yes, please.
Ashita Mataji, please read.
O son of Kunti, either you
your
will be
enemies
killed.
will describe you.
Sorry, Mataji. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you?
Please continue.
O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up and fight with determination.
Hare Krishna. So
Hare
what
Krishna.
does he say? He says, like, Krishna says, if you don't fight, then your enemies are going to blaspheme you. They are going to say, what is he doing? Ye kya isne fighting hi nahi kiya karke. And avachya vadamshta bahun. He says, you will undoubtedly, you are very sorry, because if you are going to be blasphemed, you are going to be defamed by your enemies. Before that, at least it's better to die while fighting. Right? By fighting, at least you will not be called a loser. Don't do that, right? Because in case hatova prapsasi swargam, in case even if you die, don't think you will be a loser, because immediately hatova prapsasi swargam, you will go to swarg. If you die also, even while fighting, you will be promoted there, because you are fighting for the right cause, right? You become very righteous. So heavenly planet is meant for righteous people. So by dying, because by your death, you will be righteously fighting, so you'll be promoted to heavenly planets, right? So both ways it's profitable, right? Atova prapsesi swargam, jitva ya bhokshase mahim. So if you jitva means jita, if you win, if you become victorious, you will enjoy the kingdom. So tasmat uttishta kaunteya yudhaya kritanisha. So please get up. Uttishta means get up. Get up, and why are you sitting like this, like a coward? Come on. Fight, he says. So the reason what he gave over here, no, don't sit. Come on, keep fighting, right? Yes, please.
Snigdha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear.
Yeah, in this, Srila Prabhupada, I'm sorry, he gives a very nice story. He talks about that, once in a deity room, a lamp was burning. And, the lamp, oil has to be put into it, and the wick has to be we keep pushing the wick, right? Diya jal raha hota hai, then you have to keep putting oil in it and all that. So the oil was almost going to get over, and the lamp was going to get extinguished. In the meantime, a rat comes over there, and he thought, oh, maybe I think it's something eatable. And what did it do? It touched the wick with its mouth, and it got pushed. So it started burning again very nicely. Simply by that small action, he got salvation. So what we have to understand from this is, he gave little bit service, very minute service to the deity, and he got salvation. So Krishna consciousness, Lord Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna consciousness business is so nice that whatever you do sincerely, it will never be lost. It is permanent, right? You execute however much percentage you may do. If you can finish 100%, very good. Then you will go to Goloka Vrindavan, never come back. But even if you are not able to complete 100%, still, whatever little you may, that is a permanent credit in your account. That will never be lost. Whatever knowledge you will get in Krishna consciousness, whatever you are learning in Bhagavadgita, it is permanent. Whatever you have learned in school, college, university, once you die, you come back, you have to start with ABCD again. Your parents have to teach. You cannot be born and say, oh, last life I had done my PhD, so I don't think I have to learn ABCD again. You won't remember anything. But Bhagavad Gita, you can see. Sometimes you will also see on YouTube, you can see a 3-year-old child reciting all 700 shlokas. Parents didn't even teach. It has heard and it knows. How? They don't know. So that's the kind of Krishna consciousness thing business is all about, The moment it will remain with you. Whatever life you may take, from wherever you have left off, you'll continue from there, right? Instead of thinking I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm American, Indian, Christian, Hindu. These are all designations. This is designations to the body. We are giving to the body. But once the body is finished, everything is gone, right? We are actually spirit soul. So we have to do spiritual activities. Because we are spirit soul, spiritual activities is correct for us. Because that is what is going to go with us wherever we go. So the miseries of life, it means if we are so miserable in life, it means we have a lot of imbalance in life. So we have to reflect ourselves completely and see that we have to balance it completely. So devotional activities, not a sin, says Lord Krishna. It's the answer. Yes, please.
Honala Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Madhav.
Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Gurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute in is many branched.
Hare Krishna. So Arjuna is with Guru Dronacharya. He had strong determination. So Lord Krishna is saying, if you need to have strong determination under your spiritual guru, he attained archery skills. Arjuna attained. We also must act firmly, obey the representative of Krishna, our spiritual guru, bona fide spiritual master, and then follow that instruction, make it our mission in life. Then we will be successful in our life. So he says, if you are not able to decide properly, Lord Krishna says, serve the Lord with firm determination, and you will be able to have that one-mindedness, focus. Yes, please.
Madhav Mataji, Hare Krishna.
The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतुर्भुः मा ते संगोस्त्व कर्मणि. So Arjuna was advised by Lord Krishna, you fight, but as a duty. Don't get attached to the result. Kya hone wala, don't worry about that. Because see, if you say, I don't want to fight also, that is also kind of attachment only. Because you are attaching yourself to not fighting. Such attachment will not lead to liberation, Krishna says. So any attachment, whether it's a positive attachment, negative attachment, that will cause bondage only. So inaction is sinful. So fighting, do your duty as a matter of duty, and that was the only auspicious way to get liberation, right? So what Lord Krishna says, Yogastah kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchit. Perform your duty equipoised. Don't get attached to anything, either success or failure, okay? That equanimity is called yoga. So we have to understand that we have two duties towards our whole life. What is that? One is the duty towards the body. We must take care of our body, our family, our job. That is called swadharma. Swa means my own. So I have to take care. If I am not healthy, how can I serve anybody else, right? So if I have to serve the Lord, I have to take care of my body. I have to take care of my health. I have some responsibilities in this life. I have to do that, not run away from it, right? Second is duty towards the soul. Keep chanting the name of the Lord. Keep doing Mahamantra. Read scriptures. Read Bhagavadgita. Read Bhagavatam. Follow the Sanatana Dharma, right? So it is very, very important that we have our Swadharma, which is duty towards our own self, our body, our family, our job, responsibilities. And we have one as Sanatana Dharma. What is Sanatana Dharma? Duty towards the soul. That is also very, very important, because soul is the one that is going to go, right? So Swadharma is important because we have taken birth in this life. What are the two duties or dharmas?
Sanatan Dharma.
Swadharma and Sanatan Dharma.
Swadharma and Sanatana Dharma. Very nice. Yes, please.
Diya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
The blessed Lord said, O Bharata, when a man gives up all varieties of sense desire which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness.
Please continue.
One who is not distributed in mind even amidst the threefold miseries or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So the example is given in Garud Puran. What is it written? It's written that, we have no ends to our desires. If we are a king wants to become emperor of the whole world. The emperor immediately, he wants to become the celestial god. The celestial god wants to become the Indra, the king of celestial gods. The Indra wants to become the Prajapati, the Brahma, the secondary creator. There is no stop. The thirst is increasing for material enjoyment. You want more and more. We are never satisfied. So here in the second shloka, 56 shloka, it's written that Sthita Dhir Muni Ruchyate. Sthita Dhir Muni means a sage who is completely capable of controlling his mind. Sthita means steady. Sthita Dhir, and Muchyate means Uchyate means he is able to. So he has no concern for his opinion, others' opinion. He is interested only and only in Lord. That's it. Like Prahlad Maharaj, right? Prahlad Maharaj was Srila Prabhupada. He was one Sthita Dhir Muni Ruchyate. Prahlad Maharaj, he was always, he faced so much of miseries, right? He accepts miseries as mercy of the Lord. He thinks, okay, never mind, whatever it is, this is what Lord wants me to do. I'm ready to face anything for my Lord. Maybe I must have done some past misdeeds, maybe. So he continues, and that's called Sthita Dhir Muni Ruchyate. Yes, please.
Harshita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada says we have to start thinking that we have to use this, whatever chance we have got in this life. We have got into this human birth, right? This is one of the best birth we could have got. So we have to use this opportunity for our spiritual perfection so that we don't come back again into this life after death, and keep facing these miseries over here. This is the determination that we need to have. Otherwise, what will happen? Dhyayate Vishyan Punsan Sangaste Shupajayate means we will become attached to it. And we like some object, we become attached to it. And if we are not able to get, we are having that desire, it's not being fulfilled, then we become very angry. And in anger, we forget what we are saying, what we are doing. Sometimes in anger, we don't even know what we are saying, right? So, but who are very serious in this spiritual path, they should try to control their senses, not by force. Try to regulate it. By how? By chanting the name of the Lord. Create a relationship with the Lord. Think only about Him. Then automatically what happens is senses become very purified. We lose interest in material things. Whoever is very sincere, a devotee, or Lord's devotee, he is not bothered about these material sense enjoyments. Why? Because he has tasted something higher. What is that higher taste? Spiritual enjoyment. Because he is always thinking about what to serve Lord, what to do with the Lord, what to sing for your praises, what to do, all this. That's the secret of the success. Srila Prabhupada says, Param Drishtva Nivartate. Param Drishtva Nivartate means what? Param means if you get better thing, you will leave the inferior thing, right? For example, if you are sitting in a Benz car, you will like small Alto or, any small car. No, once you have tasted that Benz car, you don't want to drive the smaller car. For example, if you are living in a beautiful mansion, and then I say, go and live in a studio apartment, you say, what? I had that luxury. Now you're asking me to live in a hut kind of a place. So the higher the taste, the better you feel, right? So the spiritual thing is the higher taste. Once you get that, you will not like the smaller material things. So the takeaway from this shloka is we are missing that link to higher taste. And that higher link taste is Bhagavadgita. Hari Bol. So let's move on. Yes, please.
Snigdha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool.
So true, right? Krodhat bhavati sammohaha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. By we develop Krishna consciousness, we can use everything in the service of the Lord. Like we are now using our laptop, you're all sitting here, you're listening through Zoom session, we are using the network, Wi-Fi, everything, headphones. Some of you must be putting headphones also, right? I'm using PPT, all these are all material things. But since we are using it for Krishna consciousness, we are not avoiding anything, right? We are using it. Similarly with the prasadam also. The devotee takes the prasadam in Krishna consciousness. So we will make beautiful things, whatever Lord Krishna wants. We put bhoga for him, and then we will eat. It's not that, oh, I should stay away from material stuff, so I will not use it. I will not eat anything. But a non-devotee, he will reject it. He will reject it as material. But that's not what Lord Krishna is trying to tell us. So in this way, what Lord devotee does, he is not enjoying life because of his artificial renunciation. It's called Phalgu Vairagya. He's artificially renunciating everything. That won't stay for long. That's not going to happen. So be in this life. Use everything in the service of Krishna. Because slight agitation will happen, that non-devotee, he will fall down. However much he will doing meditation, Vishwamitra had that, right? He did thousands and thousands and years of his penance, and Menaka came and everything gone, finished. So such a great sage could do that. We are nothing. So it is said that, if a soul, even though it is rising up to the point of liberation, it will fall down. Why? Because it's not having support. The devotional service support is not there. That is why it is very important. Keep doing some service, small service. You have recited, small service. You have done the translation, small service. Now Aishwarya Mataji is taking the names of some devotees, service. Anything small, it's in Krishna service, it's a service. That will always remain there. So, so we will fall down otherwise if we don't have that devotional service support. So come on, keep coming forward, keep taking up whatever little service you get. And what happens is you become very frustrated. And from that frustration, you get very angry. And if you get angry, you are completely in a confused state of mind. And then you can't even remember what you're saying, what you're doing. And your whole discriminatory power, your intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, you fall down again into this material, right? And the cycle continues over and over again. So if we can perform our duty, that is taking care of our body and soul, Swadharma and Sanatana Dharma, with determination, with lot of enthusiasm, then we will be happy in this life also and in the coming lives also, if we have one. So let's see this. First thing is, what happens is dhyayate vishyan punsam. We get attracted to, the senses get attracted to the objects. Like I keep giving example, like there is a wedding anniversary coming up. The wife starts preparing, and wife wants to go to, say, some nice place. She wants to go to Los Angeles, let's say, right? And she's thinking, she's very excited, thinking, okay, my husband is going to come up with a surprise. He is going to take me to Los Angeles or wherever. And then wife starts to, while thinking, because she's the senses have got attracted to that. So she goes on to the Google, starts finding information about Los Angeles and where to go and what all places to see on Google. So the senses have gone towards the objects. Object is going on to the places to go. So she starts comparing with her friend who had gone to see some places in India only. And she says, okay, she is, studying, she is going for her anniversary. She just went there only. I'm going to go to Los Angeles and all those. Started comparing. Now what is happening is attached. There is Sangaste Shupa Jayate. She's getting attached to whatever she's thinking. Now what has happened? Lust has developed. Now what lust developed, right? Because she's desiring to go there. Sangaste Sanjayate Kamaha. Now lust has developed. Poor husband. He is very busy in his meetings. He could not attend. He completely forgot what, he even had wedding anniversary also. So you can imagine the position of the husband. Wife is completely angry now because he forgot. Kamat krodho vijayate. Now she's completely angry. She's whole anger. She's soaking up in anger now. So now what happens with that? It goes into the fifth stage, delusion. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. So that creates delusion. It means false belief. Like she's moving around the house pretending to be busy, but she doesn't know what she's doing. So that comes to bewilderment of memory. So bewilderment of memory, what happens? In anger, she doesn't even remember that she is supposed to take care of her children or maybe do some cooking job or whatever she has to do. So what has happened? Loss of intelligence. The intelligence walks out of the door. So she refuses. She can't even think what is right, what is wrong thoughts. All thoughts mixed up now. She's very, very angry because she can't think of anything properly. So right, Smriti Bhramshat Buddhi Nasho. And then what happens in the end? 8th one, fall. Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati. So what happens? She falls down. She cries very miserably and she thinks, oh my God, like this. So it is not right. I better go to my parents' place. I don't want to stay in this house. It's so miserable. And I think my life is just hell and all that. It's a small seed. So that is why the takeaway from this shloka is like we have to be very careful about the damaging thoughts that we get. Why? Because it gets converted into very, very cruel things. And we do such actions which are so regrettable in life. We will regret later on. So it's very, very important that we control our thought process only. Because, from objects we get attached, from attached we get desires, desire doesn't get fulfilled, anger doesn't get fulfilled. Anger moves on and we get into delusion. From delusion, memory is gone. Memory means we can't remember anything properly. And the whole intelligence means the discriminative power is gone and we fall. Very, very important. From anger, what arises?
Delusion.
Delusion. Very nice. From lust?
Anger.
Very nice. Very good. So what did we understand? The 8 steps of failure. For sustained happiness, we have to move on to higher taste. Otherwise, we know what are the 8 steps of failure we learned just now. And if you have a crisis, how to manage, and if you're having a lot of not able to decide what to do, surrender to a higher authority. And who am I? I am a soul and I have a body. Not I have a body and not I am a body. We are not a body, we are soul. And what are the two duties we have? We have one duty towards our body and our subtle body, which is spirit soul, which is Swadharma and Sanatana Dharma, right? So we have to be very, very careful about about our damaging thoughts that we have. So the food for the soul is keep chanting, keep reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. Right? So Krishna's solutions to Arjuna's objections, he said of compassion, he said we are not the body, no enjoyment, heaven or kingdom, fear of sinful activities, he says no, devotional activity, it's not a sin. He says what about family tradition? He says be a role model to prevent Parna Shankara. He says I'm not able to decide. He says you have to serve the Lord with firm determination. But as a sincere student, Arjuna placed before Krishna, right, what to do. And in answer, Lord Krishna explains karma yoga. He says you have to do your karma or work in Krishna consciousness in 3rd chapter, like which we'll be doing tomorrow. But if you think that if you are feeling restless, for example, and if you feel something is missing in your life, read Bhagavad Gita. If you are feeling lonely, read Bhagavad Gita. If you are searching for happiness, read Bhagavad Gita. If you feel restless, read Bhagavad Gita. If you want to seek the meaning of life, read Bhagavad Gita and want to be a better person, read Bhagavad Gita. Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhya vicha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama Rama Rama.